We're talking about creative versus reactive work and how you can use 2 tips to prioritize tasks better. We're going to be diving into this episode of the Happy Hustle Podcast.
Do you want blissful balance in your personal and professional life? Great. What's up, guys? My name is Cary and I want to help you happy hustle a life you love, one full of passion, purpose, and positive impact. I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur, a professional model / actor, a digital marketing specialist, a podcast host, author, a biohacker, an eco warrior, a martial artist, a hippie cowboy, and a humanitarian. My goal is to educate, inspire, and entertain you to live a life of passion, purpose, and positive impact. It is time to happy hustle your dream reality.
Creative versus reactive work. These are 2 tips for prioritizing tasks better. What's up, y'all? My name is Cary Jack. I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur, author, and founder of The Happy Hustle. And I want to share with you something that changed my whole entire workflow. And it was simply prioritizing tasks based on these 2 tips. Now, break down all that you have to do into 2 categories: creative versus reactive work. Creative is the work that I do in the morning. So that's tip number 1. Doing creative work when you wake up, those fresh, precious hours, is how you will figure out, hey, this is my best work. It's, when you're more well rested. It's when you have, maybe your coffee, maybe your nootropics, maybe, you don't have any stress or drama. You got all your stuff blocked, all that noise from social media and the dopamine dumps, and you get to work. Now, specifically, the tip within the tip is focusing on MITs, money important tasks. Okay, so not to be confused with something I speak often on, which is MVTs, most valuable tasks. Specifically, money important tasks. When you're thinking about creative tasks, think about what task you could do this morning that will actually make you money. Like, what is it? Is it, hey, I'm going to write a newsletter to my list, or hey, I'm going to create a social media post, offering something to to my followers. Maybe it's hey, I'm going to write my book, because I know that's the long game, and that can drive traffic to all my other offers, maybe my course, maybe whatever it is for you, right? I got to say, that 1 tip of just working on creative tasks in the morning and then focusing on the MIT of it, what is like the most important task for my money right now, that's going to grow the bankroll, that's going to help create the abundance. That is really such an important piece. Okay, so break down your work, creative versus reactive. I'll give you an example too. Right now, we have version 2.0 of the Happy Hustle coming out in Q2 of 2024. If you want to check it out, you can go to thehappyhustle.com/book to pre-order, get a bunch of awesome bonuses. Anyway, shameless plug. But I will say that writing process, it's got to be done in the morning, because that's when, I have the creative juices flowing. That's when I'm researching, different science and data and analytics on happiness. And I just have the most brain power, right? Now, let's say it's afternoon time. Well, what tasks are the reactive tasks that need to happen? Yes, these are important. These would be, checking your inbox. This would be maybe having meetings, doing phone calls, text message follow-up, whatever it is, reactively. Now, I forget who the heck it was, but they were talking about your inbox is just other people's priorities, other people's prerogatives. That's how I look at it now. Like, when I get in my inbox, and yes, it's like tempting to just see what's in there. Oftentimes it's other people's requests of me. And that's why I have a gatekeeper. Shout out to my amazing executive assistant, Connie. But you have to have a gatekeeper for these reactive tasks, in my opinion, once you get to a certain level, because if you don't, it'll just suck a lot of the time and energy from you, just having to respond. Okay. So what I do is I have an autoresponder set up with my executive assistant. She has a template that that she knows to send within 24 hours of any email that's sent, and it's customized. That's the difference. It's not just like a legit autoresponder. It is, a custom created one. But based on whatever they say, we have a couple different, prompt responses. And then we talk about all the emails at once. They get, talked about on our team meeting, which happens once a week. And then we respond in a batch sequence. So that's just a little tip within the tip. Okay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Apologies for interrupting your programming. But I have to tell you, the best investment you can make in yourself is one in which helps you acquire skills. You've probably heard people talk about, oh, just invest in yourself and you'll be successful. Yes, that's true to a degree, but you have to invest in skills that will ultimately help you achieve your desired results. And I think one of the best skills one can possess, be it an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, is the sales sword. Really knowing how to sell, utilizing pressure free persuasion, which will make you more money and more impact. Now, if you want to know how to sell more efficiently and effectively, I just launched a sales course called The Proven Roadmap Process to Selling Millions of Dollars and helping you to increase your conversions guaranteed. And you can get access to this new sales course that the Happy Hustle is launching at thehappyhustle.com/sales. And if you act fast, you'll get it at the lowest price it'll ever be available, because we are launching it and we want to gain amazing testimonials and social proof to further share this knowledge. So if you act fast, you can get it at the lowest price it'll ever be. That's at thehappyhustle.com/sales. Now let's get back to this episode.
Now, reactive work in the afternoons, this is something that I really say, I mean, it needs to be after you've done a lot of your creative work, your most important money tasks, and then you can kind of, respond to emails and close loops, will you? There's also something to be said about doing this task earlier in the afternoon. Maybe if you're sending out cold outreach and you're doing like maybe a more reactive exercise in doing so, where you send a message, they send a message, you send a message, they send a message. This sometimes takes time once you open a loop with somebody to close it. So you want to start, in my opinion, around midday. That way you can be, done by the end of the workday, 5 o'clock, will you? So this is something, again, pro tip here, closed loops. That way, when you go home to your family, or if you work from home and you put your computer away, your phone away, you could be fully present with your family. And that's what Happy Hustling is all about, right? Systematically harmonizing ambition, right? Crushing it with your work, and well-being, crushing it with your family, your friends, yourself. That's what it's all about. Happy hustling, putting the happy in your everyday hustle. But you got to do that with intentionality. Creative tasks in the morning, reactive tasks in the afternoon, and then leveraging those pro tips in between. That's really the message. Okay. A couple other things, addressing urgent matters. This is something, you might have heard of the 4 quadrants, like urgent, not important, important, not urgent. Yeah. You got to think about, like, other people's fires might not be yours. Their emergencies might not really be emergencies for you. And so really having a system around what is urgent, what should get your immediate attention. Typically, if it is a fire and it will take me less than 5 minutes, I'll get it off my plate just right when I hear about it. But I weigh that versus, okay, what am I doing? Am I locked in and focused in creating, or am I kind of, messing around anyway and not fully focused? That's kind of, something I go through this internal process. Like, okay, if I'm dialed in doing the Pomodoro method, 45 minutes on, 15 minutes off, I got my phone on airplane mode, I'm dialed in, I'm not going to answer anything in that time frame. But let's say, I'm creating content on social media and, I get caught up in the death scroll, which happens from time to time. I do better now. I just like, slap myself in the hand. I'm like, no, Stop it, Cary. Because it's addicting, social media, all of this consumption, you know, it's it's tough. So you have to manage it. But anyway, really just addressing urgent matters with again, intentionality is key. All right. Again, I got to say this just to kind of put some productivity tips out there. If you want to really crush it personally and professionally, do your creative work early in the day, reactive work in the afternoon when you don't have as much brain power and energy, and leverage systems to be more productive. This is something we just talked about in a recent episode. Systems are save yourself time, energy, and money. But when you are working, in these creative and reactive tasks, see what kind of systems you could set up. Are there things that you've done repetitive? Like, again, when I get an email, I'm not the one responding right away. My assistant is. That's a system that's set up. So think about what systems you can create for you in your life, in your business, with your family, with your kids, and then crush it, right? Keep on happy hustling. That's the message. That's it. I hope you got some value. I hope you maybe rethink, when you're going to work on tasks. And yeah, creative work in the morning, reactive work in the afternoon, my friend. Stick to that as like a golden rule, and you'll get more done. You'll be prioritizing tasks based on your energy and what's going to be most important, also to your money, to your bankroll, the MITs, money important tasks. Keep those top of mind and do those first. Okay. That's really the message today. So I hope you got value. If you did, do me a solid again. Share this with somebody who could benefit. Give it a like, give it a subscribe. Check us out, on our website if you want, thehappyhustle.com/book. If you want to check out the book, got to recommend it. It is definitely been a labor of love, and it can really help you kind of take this, concept and then operationalize it. So anyway, that's it for today. Hope you got some value. Peace and love, y'all. I'm out.